Well, hey everybody, how are you today? It looks like I am back to front on here on the live, so I'm sorry about that. But I thought Facebook was going to give me those options again to flip the screen, but it didn't. That's okay. We are going to be live here today doing a fun DIY project. Let me see, making sure I'm on the Essential Stencil page. Let me know so I can see your comments now, because I do get frustrated when I can't see your comments. So it will be backwards, so you can see my letters are backwards, but that's okay. We are our live today is going to be mainly pictures. So I'm just trying to find our live here on Essential Stencils page. Here we are. But I can't see your comments ahead, so I will try and keep to those, that sometimes they scroll up too fast. Hi, Joyce Ann and Gloria and Darlene, thanks for watching. And if you can share the live, that'd be great too. So if you're joining me on the replay, you can comment the word replay and let us know that you're watching today. And as every weeknight here, we give away 3 gift cards at the end of our live to 3 lucky winners. So that could be you. So join in the comments for a fun time. And we're going to be talking about the Stencil of the Month Club set today. So if you're not in the Stencil of the Month Club, this might be what makes you interested in joining. And it's very easy to join. You just go to stencilofthemonthclub.com. You can have a look at 2 different plans there, and I'm going to show you what those plans are. There's a basic plan and a premium plan. And if you use my code at the checkout, I restore stuff. Now that's backwards for you, but anyway, you can see that it's I restore stuff. You get the basic plan, you get first month is free, and on the premium plan, you get 50% off the first month. So here is our Stencil of the Month Club premium plan. So for those of you who are joining me here today, I do wish there was a way that we could just flip that camera up. It's not going to let me do that. There's no tools. Anyway, we will continue. So our Stencil of the Month theme for October. So you would have been receiving Stencil of the Month Club set for September. Now we get on here between the 14th and the 20th on our lives, and we show you the following month so that you can, if you wanted to skip a month, you can. So, but I know that you will love these. There's so many different things that you can do with them. Hi, Eleanor. How are you? Thanks so much for coming on. So the theme is Rooted in Love. And you can see we've got the big tree here, which has roots that go into the ground. And, you know, it's just a really cute saying, rooted in love. And we've got some sayings on here. We've got some letters to do some fun things with. So that's the premium plan. And the basic plan, the basic set is the same kind of, it has similar elements. Some of the elements are the same, some of them you don't get. So basic plan is a lot smaller and fewer elements in it. So I'll show you that in a minute. And then you have an add-on. You add on the optionals at the end. So I'll show you what's in that one as well. But our premium plan consists of this gorgeous tree with the big trunk. And then we have a swing and a tire swing and a rope swing, a little chair swing that you can hang from the branch of the tree. You can see that there, or you can see that there. And then we have the alphabet. I'll turn it around so it's backwards for me, and then you'll be able to see the alphabet there. We have the alphabet and some little numbers. So then you can, you know, you might want to etch your initials carve your initials into the tree using these letters. But as I always say, some of these letters and the tire swing can be used together with other stencils and other sayings and other transfers that Essential Stencil has. So don't forget, if you order from the regular Essential Stencil site, you can use my same code, I restore stuff, and get 10% off on the store there. So that's 2 of them. So we get 3 sheets altogether, and the third sheet is this one. I'll turn it backwards so that it's flipped around for you. It says, always kiss me goodnight. My heart is happy here and home is where the heart is. We also have 2 little birds which would fit beautifully on the branch of a tree. So we'll show you some of these today. There's so many ideas and I'm not going to be able to try them all today, but we also have this gorgeous heart. Now the heart fits perfectly also on the tree. And you can make your little initials and carve your initials of you and your spouse, your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend on there. So that is exciting. Oh, I'm not seeing all my comments on here, so let's see if I can change that. There we go. Hello, thank you so much, Connie, Marilyn, Teresa. Hello, I see you all joining in there. So join in the comments and you'll be able to see some, you'll be able to see some other comments and people encouraging each other. I love it when you make comments, but also you go into a chance to win the $20 gift cards for Essential Stencil. Now, I'm hoping to also do a little Christmas project at the end here of a Christmas stencil, but we'll see how we go for time. And here's our add-on for the stencil of the month for October, and I'll put that around so you can read it. When you love what you have everything that you need. And the most gorgeous, so you're going to want to get this add-on, the squirrel that can be climbing the tree. So we've got the tree here from the main set, and you could put the squirrel on the tree. You could have the little hedgehog here. There's another squirrel, owl sitting in the tree, butterflies flying around. So there's so many cute ideas that will come from this. So this is the Stencil of the Month Club for October. So if you join anytime now, you will be receiving that set. If you already joined prior to the 14th, you would receive the September set. So let's see what we can add. Now the premium set, the basic set, I'll show you what you get in those. Hello Brenda, howdy from Texas. And Kimberly's here, Eleanor. Cassie, you just ordered this today, so you joined the Stencil of the Month Club. Excellent. So you can choose from the basic plan or the premium plan. Use my code IRESTORESTUFF. I know that's backwards. Facebook's doing its little thing. So sorry about that. But the basic plan is smaller, but it does have three elements. We've got the tree, and we do have the swing and the tire swing, and we have My Heart is Happy here, and some little birds that could fit in the tree. But you don't have all of the little woodland creatures. You don't have the letters of the alphabet or the heart. But we also have this sign here, always kiss me goodnight, and home is where the heart is. So you have 3 sayings, 2 swings, and a tree, and a couple of little birds. Whereas the premium set, you get the heart, the tree, and then also the swings and the alphabet with the numbers on it. So you can put a date there, etch in your initials, and so on. So let's get started with that today. We'll start with the tree, and I've painted a board here. These are 16 by 12 inch stencils, and so my board is approximately 16 by 12, and I'll just point that down here. Yes, Kathy says, I wasn't sure about the set, but really liking all the possibilities. Yeah. This is the October one, so you will be receiving the September one if you've ordered that last month, or anything ordered before the 14th. This is the October one, so October Stencil of the Month set. Now you can see with the tree that you can fit any of the sayings, including the add-on sayings. So you can fit the sayings. If you didn't want to put the swing down here, which maybe we could do, this swing would go this way, and you can see that there's a slight rise there. So as long as your alphabet's the correct way around, and I know that this is flipped around, so ignore that. But the tire swing would fit right here, but if you didn't want to do that, you could add beautiful sayings that fit right in this space just here. Okay, and of course you can put your heart on the tree, little birds in the branches, and so on. So it's exciting set. And also the add-on, so this is the add-on, it has all the little woodland creatures and also a beautiful saying that will fit right there perfectly here. Your owl can fit up here. See how this squirrel is like climbing the tree? It could fit out here doing a climb, or you could flip it over here and do a climb. So very cute, and put them up in the branches wherever you like. So that's the add-on for October. We're talking about October's Stencil of the Month set. So Let's start with a brown colour. I might use the Fusion's chocolate brown. It is quite a dark brown, and we're going to use our largest brush, the 7/8 inch brush, because I'm going to be going all over it, and there's such a large space here. And so with our large spaces, I like to use a large brush, and then we can just go around the edges. We can add our greens and so on later. So let's just start with that, shall we? Hi, Kimberly. Thanks so much for saying hello. Yes, you haven't opened September yet. I get you. I get you. You want the add-on. How do you order that after the fact? So if you can email Essential Stencil at their, I think it's support@essentialstencil.com. Someone correct me in the comments there. Those of you who are in the club who know how to do that, thank you so much for answering for the people who are asking questions there about that. So I'm trying to strain my neck to see the comments here on the phone now that I can see them. Okay, so we've got this large area in the center. I'll start out down here. Now I do have, it's kind of runs inside the edge. So I'm trying to leave that border around that quite evenly. And because I've got hardly any on the brush, I can kind of swirl it around. And it doesn't matter if we've got some sort of strokes showing on here. I've got maybe a little bit of brush stroke showing from underneath where it's painted, but because we've got a tree trunk, we can kind of make it look like bark by just doing that rough back and forth on the tree. Or maybe you might like to fill it all in completely. So this is the October Stencil of the Month set, which just launched this week. If you're in the Stencil of the Month Club, you would have probably seen that. So I'll leave these and we'll do those green. And this is Chocolate by Fusion Mineral Paint. If you do want Fusion paint, it's great for furniture and home decor. And I'm a furniture painter originally, and I do a lot of decor as well now and sign making. But it sticks really well to furniture, and you can use my code IRestoreStuff at Fusion Mineral Paint. The link is right there in the description of the live also, with all the links that you'll need for today's project, apart from the board. Oh. Comments have disappeared on my laptop. Trying to catch up with you there. Okay, so we've got a nice branch coming down here, so I will try and... Got a lot of paint on that one. I'll try and avoid the leaves, but it doesn't matter too much if I get them, because I'll just go over with the green on those. Most of this is going to be green. I had too much on my brush. I did. Right there. So hopefully I don't get too much underneath, because you can get bleed underneath the stencil if you have too much on your brush. And I don't mind that looking kind of scratchy going back and forth. I kind of did that on purpose so that it would look like a tree trunk. Okay, I think we've got that done well. So let's go on then to our, I can have a little peek if we want. Ta-da! It's looking great. Maybe we'll go on to some green. We could do a couple of different green tones in there. I'm going to pop this there it is, in some plastic so that it doesn't dry out, in case I want to use that brown colour again. And let's have a look at what greens I've got. This conservatory green, which is a nice bright green, and then we've got some darker green in the colour Bayberry. So I might just start with this conservatory colour, and let's have a look at what we can use for that. I'll just use one of our 5/8 inch brushes and just dip a little bit into the colour, offload it here. And now this should be dry, the brown should be dry, but if you wanted to, you could just hit it with a dryer just to make sure. Especially on those areas where you're going to do the leaves. And there we go. So this is a smaller brush, and so hopefully it won't get all onto the branches, but if you wanted to make sure that it didn't, you could tape it off with some painter's tape, or just hold a piece of cardstock here over the branch so that where you're wanting to do the leaves, you're not getting that onto the branch. Same with the other end. Just offloading onto the cardboard. This needs a little extra water on it, so I may just dip this brush because the pot is half empty. So when you've got paint that's half empty and it's a paint that dries really quickly, it can tend to... Oops. Thank you so much, Brenda, for sprinkling. Yeah, it can tend to be a little bit tacky. Now I'm going to put my cardstock over the branch there. And then we can go over these with a little bit of the darker green in areas, just to give it a little bit of depth, contrast. Might even dampen this with my cloth, give a little bit more moisture in it. Thank you so much. So those of you who are saying sprinkle, that just means they're sharing our live out, and thank you so much. It really helps other people know that we are live and that we're doing a DIY. Maybe you want to share it with a friend and you can watch together and chat about your projects that you'd like to do together. Does anyone have crafting days where they actually invite a friend over and do a craft together? It'd be a fun idea. Grab a few people. Get your stencils out. You could help use each other's stencils. Almost finished the green up here. There's a large space right there. In those larger spaces you can kind of go for it a bit more with a bit more on your brush. There we go, we've got a tree. We'll get that grass down the bottom. And we've got a few little flowers there, so we could do those in a pretty colour. We've got some red here, maybe some red flowers. Okay, oh, leaves, nearly forgot these. I know that you guys would catch me out if I did something that was messed up. I hope you do. Call me out, just say, Sharon, you forgot this. It happens when we're live. There we go. I think I've got everything there. I think I've done all the tree bits tree and the wood bits wood. Leaves, wood. Okay, next, popping that green in here, and I think I'll go over that little bit of, there's two little flowers there. I've got some red here, I've also got sort of an orangey colour. I think I'll go with the red just for it to really pop and stand out. Now, I do like using, let's see, where's our smallest one? I do have our smallest one there, but let me use one of our mini domed brushes. I think these are in stock at the moment, can't be sure. 8/25 this one is. They're beautiful synthetic bristle brushes and they're tighter together and you get a really more concentrated area. So I love using them for little tiny areas where you've got a bit of concentrated area. So if you can see this here, little tiny flower, just dab, 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 and we've got no worries about getting it onto the leaves or anything like that. It may need a second coat because reds can sometimes have, they're highly pigmented, red paint colours. So let's just really quickly dry that and add a little dip more paint. Just to make that stand out. Cute. All right, now we're going to decide whether we're going to put words here, a swing. Let's see. Or even our green, actually. I was going to put a little bit more of a darker green. So this is the colour Bayberry, which is a gorgeous olive green. I might even just use that same brush because, and I think it goes nicely with that. This colour is Conservatory in the Fusion range, and this colour we're using is Bayberry. So if you look at them together, I think they go nicely. And you need to wipe a lot of that Conservatory off so we can get more of the Bayberry on. And I might just use a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of patchiness in areas to get that on. Maybe just tinge the edges of them. Oh, I found a tree trunk that wasn't a tree and it wasn't a leaf. Finding more of the details as I go around. Just a little bit more texture to our leaves up there. It's not so noticeable, but just enough that it gives it a bit of a different, just a little bit of depth. Maybe we'll just shade the bottom of our grass as well. Make it blend up the stalk so that the bottom is a little bit more dark than the tops. Very subtle. Okay, so let's remove that now and see our tree is done. So we do have some edges on here, and you could go around, tape that off when you're finished and actually do a border on the whole tree. You may even do that. So we've got I went through at the beginning of the basic set in the Stencil of the Month Club and the premium set. So right now we're using the premium set. And we're going to add some fun things on here. So let's see, what would you prefer seeing? Do you prefer the sayings, or do you prefer a swing? I know someone else who was on Berry Jam Crafts was on Monday in place of Amanda. And I think that she put on a swing and did some beautiful work there. We could do sayings, or we could do a tire swing and you could put initials on it. So what is everyone thinking? Let me know in the comments. I'm not seeing. Where are our comments gone? Or we could put one of these sayings. So we've got, I'll turn them around so you can read them. Home is where the heart is. Always kiss me goodnight. That's sweet. Does this one say, my heart is happy here? Or, oh, tire swing, someone said. Let's see. Tire swing, Tracy said. A saying, Trudy says. And then it's a matter of which saying. Let's put some birds at the top while we're waiting. We could put the little squirrel. I think that's so cute. Let's put a squirrel climbing the tree, and you all jump on there and tell me what you think that we should put on the side. Either I'm thinking the tire swing or a saying. Now it could be this one, which is, when you love what you have everything that you need. And then we've got these beautiful sayings. Always kiss me goodnight. My heart is happy here. Home is where the heart is. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see there. And I will see if I can try and watch your comments here, because they're not coming up on the computer in the right order, but I'm trying to see them up here on the phone. Tire swing. Everyone's saying tire swing. I think I will go tire swing. Let's just put our squirrel up here. I think I'd like to see him crawling up the tree. Maybe he could be, his tail's going off the edge. Or you could flip him around the other way. Let's do the tire swing first. That is cute. If you wanted to, you can move the tire swing closer to the tree or further away from the tree and still maybe fit a saying there. I'm not sure, but we'll just put it right here for now. Let's put the rope going over the top of the tree branch, because I feel like that rope would go over there, and then have the tire swinging. I think the tire should be black, and maybe the rope we'll do in this woodwick colour that I was going to do the squirrel in. We can still do the squirrel in that colour. Oops, I've just made a mess with my hands here. Shouldn't have touched that. Okay, and using probably a smaller bristle brush, we have the colour Woodwick. And this is just the rope going down, and then while I've got this brush, I should do the squirrel. And the brush is going to go over the tire like that, around. Okay, and now black, coal black for our tire, which probably a nice grey that I could have used instead of black is that cast iron. It's very, that sort of to me reminds me of a tire, so that would have been a good one to use as well. Okay, I'll use this one here for the black, and I will go back to the squirrel. I might use, instead of painter's tape, I'll use this card again just to maybe block where I don't want the black to go over my rope that goes around the tire. And away we go around our tire. Now this is the Stencil of the Month Club. If you've just joined, we are doing the October set, has just been launched this week for you to have a look at and make sure you're ready for next month. So we like to let you know in advance so you can see the different designs, but you should be receiving September's Stencil of the Month in the mail if you haven't already. So if you ordered and joined the Stencil of the Month Club before the 14th, you would receive September's set, and then from the 14th to the 20th, any time after that, you will, they ship, mid the next month, so should ship mid-October, you'll be getting this set. Okay, so let's go around our tire here. And then I'm hoping to do a Christmas sign at the end of our live here. We'll see what time we have left. Hoping to do it on the back of the shelf sitter that I made last week on Essential Stencil Live. Oh, we might need 2 of these to just get in that corner there. Oop. Okay, that helps to just cover that rope area which goes over the tire. And I think that that little brown bit I just missed. This goes over the back. Just got to get it perfect. All right, now we'll take the tire off. See all our little alphabet letters here? They are going to be great for all sorts of projects, not just this. So sometimes it's totally worth getting in the Stencil of the Month Club to have a look at the other options that they have there apart from the main stencil site, because there's always some great stencil sets. Just splashed some paint over here. That's all right. All right, so I was going to do that little squirrel in that brown colour, and I thought I could do it over this way. I could turn him over and go here, like so. He could be just climbing up about there. So we've got that brown right here. This is the colour Woodwick. So if you use my code IRESTORESTUFF at the checkout at either the Stencil of the Month Club or on the main essentialstencil.com site, then you can get a discount. So on 10% off any of the stencils or transfers or brushes on the main site, and then you can also get your first month, save on your first month in the Stencil of the Month Club. Oh. There's our little squirrel crawling up the tree. We're going to have owls sitting up the top. I do like those cute little birds. Where are they? They were on the saying sign. So we've got the birds here, and I was going to do those. Oh, could do them a couple of different colours. These little lovebirds sitting up here on the branch. I think they're adorable. Colour ideas for these guys. I was going to do some maybe red breast. We could do little black wings or something. There's our black paint. You could use some painter's tape, remember, but I'm just going to use the cardstock here to just cover over those parts of the bird so I can just get that bit in. Same with this side. I should use a tiny brush again. Now that we have that, what do we call this? A domed mini brush. I think I'll use that for this. I can also use, got all these paint jars open at the moment. Cranberry, this gorgeous red that I did for the flowers, and that'll kind of tie our sign in nicely. We're still all there. I can't see comments very well, so I'm sorry about that. But hello, and thank you so much for joining our live here tonight. We're excited to have you here. We've got the red on our brush. I'm just going to dab that lightly. I should do his little feet black. This helps me be more directional and with the mini brush and get that on in the right spaces that I want it. I should use one of these for the black, and I might just do that. I sometimes don't like to just put the same paint colour on a different brush so that it's not, you know, so that I'm not having to wash out so many brushes. But for these tiny feet, I think it's worth it to just get a little tiny black domed brush, the mini, can just add the feet there and it will be so much easier. Dab, dab, dab. And see, it's so much easier to not get accidentally on the red that I've just painted. Okay. And now I can go back over that red again because I feel like that needs a little bit more paint because of it being a red colour, not a great lot of pigment. So when we do our second coat, it really sort of pops and stands out. And then we have a little red-breasted bird with cranberry colour. Alrighty, next. It's coming together nicely. So let's have a look. Now you could do this, I think I'm going to put that heart on the tree. Now you could do this using your initials and the little alphabet set. I'm just probably going to leave it generic. I'm going to use a white. Let's put some lids on, shall we? And I'm going to use Casement White, which is Fusion's Whitest White. If you're just joining us, this is October's Stencil of the Month Club set. Just going to grab a small brush for this white using Casement. Oop, had a bit too much on my brush. Just offload that a bit. And running out of room on my board. I did bring two out. And then we're going to add, as if this has been carved out of a tree and someone's put paint in the carving to make it stand out. And I can do a swirl like this because I've got hardly any white on the brush. You get to know how much paint you've got on the brush and how much, not to leave on there. All right, there's our beautiful heart on the tree, and then of course we can use our alphabet and add our letters. Now this is, our Facebook has our screen flipped backwards, so the heart is so cute. But I could put on here my husband's initials, M, and then H. Where's the H? Here it is. H, and put the H there. And then you can put a little plus sign in the middle. Why don't we just do that? And then you can put your, they've got a little example on the back. You can put your date. Oh, you could even just put your first initials, like A plus D, for example, or M plus S. And then you can put your date, a date on it as well. But you can also just fill that with your initials. Let me see if my S and my H would fit. H, S. And then there's the tiny little numbers to do your dates. So see how you could just make that really easily over the heart. Where is an idea that I can do this on? I can do it in black, couldn't I? All right. Here's our black paint, for example. Let me do it on here. Our big black and brown blob. So we're going to add a heart to that. Just so you can see how the initials fit in the heart. Oop, now I do have a big blob right there. Trying not to get that blob on the stencil here. Oh, this is tricky. Okay. I'm going to do this because I'm doing it on here so that I can do it back to front so that you guys can see it the right way around because it's so tricky on Facebook. It's showing all the letters are back to front at the moment. So what I do need to do is just wipe that off with a paper towel, making sure that all these other blobs aren't coming back onto my stencil, because that would be not great. Okay, so we've got our little heart here. Imagine the heart is on the tree trunk right here. We've got our heart on the tree. And then we're going to add our letters. And I love these cute little letters. I think they're going to look so great. So let's do Marty and I. So we've got, I'm trying to think which way you would be looking at this. You would be looking at it going this way. Da, da. Yes, you would. This is so confusing. When you look at this, it's like I'm looking at something in a mirror. So there's our M. And there's our H. Look, you can get really, I've put them too far apart. We've got our little plus sign down here. Well, just let's pretend someone's name is M and their partner's name is H. And then you can put the plus in the middle. So it's you plus me. Put our little plus in the middle. And then we can add a date down the bottom. So let's make up a date. And now I've got to get my date. This is hilarious. Now I'm trying to get my date back to front so that I can flip it around to be. Guys, you have no idea how hard this is. Okay, so let's say 5. And we'll have to put a little piece of blue tape on here. It's only tricky because I'm doing it back to front and upside down so that you can see it the right way. So I'm just putting this little piece of tape over the 5. And we're doing 5. Let's do 4 just for sake of ease. 5, 4. Oh no. Yeah, I've got my date back to front now. Because when I think about it, I've got to read left to right so that you guys can read it right to left. But you can see the size of the little numbers. So that should say for someone just got married in 2025, I should have a 2 and a 5 right here. Correct? That's what I should have. Look, I'm determined to get this, you guys. Determined to get this right. There we go. Easy fix. Easily fixed. Oh, this is hilarious. Back to front, upside down. So I'm putting a 2 right here. Is that correct? Yes. Sharon, you've got this. We've got our little piece of tape here. We'll chop it in half. We've got our 2. So we've got our 25. Then we can add, let me see if that says 25, because I'm looking at it back to front. And then we can add our little dash. We can add any dash, really, can't we? And then you add your other numbers on the side there. So there you go. That gives you an idea of the size of the numbers. Let's just add another number here over the dash. We'll add a 6 and an 8 just for the sake of easiness. So imagine this on the little heart here. So you can customize yours. I just thought I'd make mine generic and also because I wanted to show you how it fits the right way around, like that. Okay, so let's see, what time have we got? We may not have any time left to do our Christmas one today. I will have to try and leave that for the next time. I was going to show you how I could squish this home word. You know, I did this one last week, so if you want to go back and check that live out, remember my words are back to front today, so maybe this is a good thing I don't do this one today. So we've got the word home, and I'll flip it over so you can see it properly. And I was going to see if I could squish all the letters together. And then the home stencil, the Christmas home stencil, also has bonus images that you can replace the O with in the middle. So I'll see if I can do that in a little bit. I might even do that on my own page if you wanted to follow me on I Restore Stuff. So it's got a spare circle here. And the circle has the snowman image that you can put over the top of it, or you can add this beach ball. Oh no, it's not a beach ball. It could be a beach ball. It's, what do you call it? An all-day sucker or a candy, like a candy cane candy. Yes, so I was going to show you how to do that, but we are running out of time, guys. So I will not do that one today, and I'll just go through and show you again what we did for our Stencil of the Month Club set, because I love this set. I think there's so much in it. Now, for this one, I don't have any words on there, but again, you could make it your own. There are so many other sets that maybe you can think of some others that you could add things to this set or add these to the other sets. Also with the transfers, there's so many different things you could do. So we've got the tree trunk, the branches, little birds. We've got woodland creatures on the, this is the add-on for the Stencil of the Month Club. And then the 3 sets that you get for the premium plan, the 3 large stencils, were the sayings, the swings, and the alphabet with all of your letters on it, which can be used for so many fun things that you can customize all of those things. And then also the tree, the main tree trunk. The main featured stencil itself is the tree trunk there. So that's all that's in that. And then the premium plan is just a smaller version of that. So don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff in all of your, at the checkout, whether you're purchasing anything from the main website. So it's just IRestoreStuff. If you want to visit my webpage, let me see if I can lift you up a bit here. You can visit me at irestorestuff.com, and I'm at iRestoreStuff on any of the social media platforms like YouTube, where I put all my videos, and Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all of the things. TikTok even, I'm over there, so I don't hang out there very much. I mainly hang out on Instagram. So find me at iRestoreStuff there. But yeah, this is what we worked on today. Isn't that just gorgeous? And I think that would look so cute with all of the different sayings in there. Look, you could have the little owl sitting in this tire swing. You could have the squirrel climbing the tire swing. There's 2 different squirrels in that woodland thing. We've got a hedgehog as well, so the cute little hedgehog. And imagine the saying over that would have been cute too. So that is it for today. Don't forget to use my code IRestoreStuff with all of your stencil purchasing. We love it when you use our codes, and that's very helpful to us as creators to keep bringing you content every week. We are going to, oh yes, Linda, she just said, do you put a center on your flower? Listen, girl, I was just about to do that before, and I thought, I really need to remember to do that. So here's our black that we used before, and I think I'm just going to use the black, or I could use the chocolate. That was just for the tree trunk. I used this color. So yes, I'm going to do that right now while we're waiting for our winners to be selected. Look, that might be a little bit too, could be brown, or we could do white, couldn't we? This is going to be too big, so I will use a tinier, one of our detail brushes. If you don't have those, they are a great idea. Oh, can you see? Sorry, I didn't show you where I was doing the flower. I'm putting a center on my flower just for you, Linda, because I did see that and I thought, I'm going to have to do that when we finish our live. So there you go. So our winners, we have our winners today. Congratulations. And I can see them here. I can't see them up on the phone, so I'll read them from over here on the laptop. Kathy, Barb, and Christine. So Kathy, Rastelli Sands, Barb Moller, and Christine Russell. You email support@essentialstencil.com and let them know that you are a winner on Sharon's Live here tonight, Wednesday night. And I will see you again next week for another great fun project. So I can't wait to join you. Please jump on, say hello next week too. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Bye.